Hello everybody, Bob Lusk, the Pond Boss. You're not going to believe what I'm doing today. I'm hanging out at East Texas Baptist University today with their bass fishing team, and by golly, they just won a big tournament here not long ago over at Sam Rayburn. And we're going to gather some of these folks up and learn a little bit about them and what they're doing. I see Jason Nipstad checking in. Of course, Jason's always first up to bat. Now, I don't have my laptop with me today, so I don't know that I can see your questions. So what we're going to do is we're going to interview some people. Come here just a minute, Chris. Bring your stuff with you. We're going to talk about that for a minute. For those of you that spend some time on the Pond Boss Facebook page and watch some of these live broadcasts, you'll see Chris Ketchum checking in from time to time. Chris, pull up a chair, man. Yeah, get your face right in here so we can see you. There we go. Here's Chris. And oh, yeah, hey, Frank James, we're in your neighborhood, buddy. We're over here in Marshall, Texas. You know where that is. Who is second to bat? Well, we'll find out here in a minute. Second up to bat. It'll be whoever's after Chris. Chris is up first. So Chris is an avid angler, lives near Sherman, Texas, loves to fish Lake Texoma, and actually he's been to a number of the Bassmasters Classics and represents quite a few of some different manufacturers. And you brought some stuff today you're going to give away here at East Texas Baptist University's fishing team. What do you got?
I've got the battle box. I'm going to give one of these away. I gave away 2 bait sacks from Coast Fishing.
Coast Fishing. How do you spell Coast?
C-A-L.
Like California Coast.
California Coast.
Coast Fishing. Okay, and that's one of your sponsors, so we're going to give them a little airtime. What else you got?
This is going to be another Coast Fishing product. It's a rod glove. It's like a rod cover.
A rod cover, okay, cool. That's great. All right, well, man, we're glad you're here, and thanks for sharing this stuff with these guys. This is going to be huge fun. Hey, don't run off. I need people. Come here. Come here, guys. Get over here. Yeah, come on. All right, Chris, thanks for sharing that Coast. You guys remembered Coast. All right, come up here. You guys don't run off. I want to collar several of you guys. All right, tell us who you are.
I'm Jacob Keith from Jefferson, Texas.
Jacob Keith from Jefferson, Texas. Okay, now tell me a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
Well, I mean, I'm here studying the business management program.
Okay.
Once I graduate next year, I plan on taking over our air conditioning business right here in Marshall. And, I mean, I plan on maybe fishing some bigger tournaments, higher up, maybe hopefully one day qualifying for a championship.
Oh, okay. So you kind of get into this bass fishing thing.
Yeah.
All right. You guys had a tournament last week or week before.
Yep.
Did you fish that tournament?
I did.
So what did you do to get ready for that tournament?
Well, we spent about 4 or 5 weekends in a row, daylight to dark, practicing our butts off, and just, you know, we kind of had some history in the past. Water was real high down at Rayburn. You catch a lot of fish out of the bushes, but the key thing was the grass fish, man. Finding those bare spots in the grass, just being able to locate those fish. And if you can find that one good spot in the grass, then you can sit there and catch them all day out of it.
What was the water temperature? Did you check it?
Yeah, it was low
50s. Low 50s?
Lower 50s.
Okay, so bass we're probably staging and getting ready to go up in the shallow water and spawn then. Or did you catch any fish of any size?
Yes, we actually did. We have 1 8-pounder.
Oh, outstanding. Pretty good kicker.
Yep.
Well, good deal. All right, so you're a business major, and you're kind of, you're going to go follow in the family's footsteps and help with the air conditioning business.
Yes, sir.
But by golly, if things kind of go your way, you're going to see if you can fish professionally a little bit.
I'd sure like to.
Is there a fire burning inside of you to do that?
There's a big one.
Ah, where there's a big fire, there's a chance.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, thanks for hanging out, man.
You bet.
Let's get somebody else up here and let's talk about this stuff. Now, when Tom Wynn is here, matter of fact, he's been a Pond Boss subscriber forever, and he's the guy that called me to see if I would come and talk to this group. And as I was visiting with Tom, he says, tell them about the physiology and the biology of bass, and to see, kind of give them some insight about things they might not know about, like the way they spawn and their relations with in a community and how aquatic plants affect a bass fishery. So we spent some time on that. Tell us who you are.
I'm Brent Clark. I'm from Center, Texas.
Okay. And so what's your major?
I am a marketing major.
A marketing major. That's an excellent major if you're going to be a bass fisherman.
That's the hope.
All right. So so you're on the bass fishing team.
Yes, sir.
So what do you do to get ready for a tournament?
I usually look at my graphs and look at at stuff online to try to figure out what the fish are going to do, what they've been doing, how the previous tournaments have been going, and I just get ready for it and get all my rods and equipment ready, and we roll out.
And then when you get to the lake and you everything's ready to go, then what? What's your strategy? Do you have a strategy when you hit the water?
Yeah.
Or do you gotta have to go read the lake a little bit?
I have a strategy when I hit the water. Usually, it don't ever work out, but I have a strategy of what I want to do.
Okay.
But
so when you hit the lake and you got that strategy and it's working for you, you're gonna stay with it.
yes, sir. Yes,
But
sir.
if it's not working, then what's your mindset? What do you do?
I usually, I'm a deep fisherman. I usually try to stay deep. But if that doesn't work, if I can't catch them deep, I'm pretty confident in myself. I can go catch them shallow as well.
Okay, so you're going to start off deep in hopes that you're going to catch a big fish?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're going to go out and try to catch that kicker early on.
Yes, sir.
And if that's not working for you, then you're going to move to shallow water and just try to get your 5-fish limit and go back in the way.
Yes, sir.
Is that your
Yes,
strategy?
Sir. Yes, sir. I try to find maybe a big group of fish out deep. Maybe try to catch, or where the big ones might be, and then once I find those big ones, or if I don't find those big ones, then I go shallow to try to find my numbers.
So when you're studying your electronics and you're looking for those big fish, are you looking exclusively for big fish, or are you using side scan to look at habitat? What are you looking at?
It matters what time of the year it is, really. If it's summertime, I got my side imaging, and I'm on a ledge. And but if it's pre-spawn, getting up in the January or February or March, I'm up there using my side scan, trying to find holes in grass, hard spots, using my 2D to find the different densities of the bottom. And
Okay, so let me make sure I heard what you just said. You're looking for variety, and then you're going to select what you think is going to be what's going to get you that strike.
yes, sir.
Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Outstanding. Well, how in the world did you find this place where you can actually go to school on a fishing scholarship? How cool is that?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I was graduating high school and got a call from our coach, and he said, "Well, you want to fish?" And I said, "Well, absolutely." So,
So here you are.
yeah.
What did you get any take-home points from listening to everybody talk today and what I was telling you? Anything hit you today?
I think what hit me the most is the Thermocline, how the fish can get in the Thermocline, and how they use the Thermocline at their advantage, and I think that's what really helped me, because I'm a deep fisherman. I'm always looking for that Thermocline, looking where I need to go and where I don't need to go. So I think that's what hit me the most.
Excellent. What he's talking about is a few years ago we did a study on an East Texas lake, and where we radio tagged about 40 bass, and working with South Dakota State University, and we figured out that, and I've told this to you guys on this broadcast before, but what we found, especially in the hot part of the summer, a good number of those bass would go get not on the Thermocline, but they'd get in it. Now, they wouldn't go all the way to the bottom, because oxygen goes from 85% saturation to 0 within about a foot or 18 inches. But they would get in there enough where the temperature was lower, but they had just enough oxygen they wouldn't suffocate. So what that's done is he's talking about figuring out how to fish in those deeper waters, especially when fish are not active, because we all know that fish are going to bite for really 3 reasons. One is they're hungry, which happens maybe once a day or twice a day, or they're defending a zone or a nest or an area. And the third thing is a reaction strike. So when you're fishing deep, you're trying to get that reaction strike.
Yes, sir.
Because you've got fish that are kind of lethargic typically, and you want to wake them up and hit them in the head with something, try to make them bite.
Yes, sir.
That way you
Absolutely.
can go way in.
That's right.
That's great. Outstanding. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Pull up a chair. Tell us who you are.
So I'm Jared Patton. I'm actually a graduate student. I graduated last December.
Okay, Jared.
With a bachelor's degree in accounting, and so now I'm studying entrepreneurial leadership.
Oh, cool. What are you going to do with that?
Hopefully to run some of my own businesses, and then help me to, on the professional side of the fishing, kind of help advance me in that, as far as all the business stuff side of fishing. So, and if I can't make it professionally, I'll still have the education background to get a job in the industry.
So if you can make it as an angler, that's what you're going to do?
Yes, sir.
But just in case that doesn't work, you can count beans and market things and set up businesses and work with those that buy this, sell this stuff to those guys that do it.
Yes, sir.
What's going to keep you from being that angler?
Myself.
Whoa.
That's the only thing in my way.
So. That's interesting.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, what? Do you have that fire burning in you, or is it just kind of like it?
No, I've wanted to be a professional fisherman since I was in like elementary school. You know, when all the other kids were like, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a firefighter. I wanted to be a professional bass fisherman. That's just something I've always wanted to do, and I've loved since a young age. So
Love it. I told these guys, I called Marty Stone today to kind of catch up with him and just ask him. I called Jimmy Houston and Marty Stone both today just to see if they had any tips. You know, I'm going to go talk to this group of college anglers, and they're on scholarship, so they're pretty serious about it. Matter of fact, they won the last tournament, placed first, second, third, and fourth at Sam Rayburn last weekend or weekend
yes,
before?
sir. It was last
Last weekend, okay. You know, right before all these fronts blew through, and so I asked Marty, you know, what would you tell these guys? He says, tell them, tell them don't worry about chasing sponsor money. He said, if you go learn to be the best angler, if you go and you work your butt off and you're on the water, the sponsors are going to find you. You know, and I think that kind of struck home with some of these guys today.
Yeah, I used to watch a show called Hunting Hole Outdoors with Bill Wilcox.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest lines that he had in his intro says, "There's no substitute for time on the water. You know, it doesn't matter how much off the water research you do or how much this. You know, at the end of the day, you gotta go out and catch them."
Exactly, that's it. And if you do that, I mean, look at Jordan Lee.
Yeah.
You look at what that guy's doing. It's not because he sold himself to the sponsors.
No.
It's because he went out and the fish sold themselves to his boat.
Mm-hmm.
And he put them in there.
Yes, sir.
All right, so now what's your game plan? You're going to fish tournaments, so you're going to be here in graduate school for what, 2 years?
I'll graduate next spring.
Okay, so you got another year and a semester to go.
Yes, sir.
And then you get to go figure out what you're going to do. So between now and then, how much time can you spend on the water?
We'll have to see. I work as an accountant right now, and so right now it's kind of a little busy for me. But during the summer and the fall, I tend to fish a lot on the weekends, and I like to go a lot of different lakes. One of my favorite lakes is Texoma, which is like pretty much my home lake, and I love to catch the big smallmouth there. And in fact, last Thanksgiving I actually caught one that was probably right at about 6 pounds, and that's
oh my gosh,
that's
huge.
my favorite fish to catch is a smallmouth.
Okay,
so.
I love that. Well, that's great. Well, you know what? I'm so honored to be able to be here and hang out with you guys. And, you know, if you want it bad enough, you're going to get it.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
So
I
appreciate you coming and talking to us.
Hey, it's a pleasure. Appreciate
sir.
it. Thanks. All right. How much fun is this? So we're getting some comments here. Drew Hay has got an earth moving company up north of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and he builds lakes. He just popped up here. He says, this is fantastic. He loves it. Pull up a chair, brother.
How you doing?
I'm doing. You know what? I still lead a pretty cool life.
I'm telling you.
Tell me your name.
Jake Sanders,
Jake Sanders. Where you from, Jake?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville, Florida. I love that. You know what? If you're here from Jacksonville, Florida, that's not just by happenstance. Tell us about you. How'd you get here?
Well, I started out back in high school. I started a fishing team at Nice High School where Tim Tebow went and
Okay.
started a fishing team and did well in the national in the high school war finals on Pickwick Lake, and met a coach here at ETBU. Came on a visit, and we went and started the recruiting process and went all right. We came here, and this is my second year here now.
Okay, are you listening to this? He was recruited to bass fish at East Texas Baptist University. How cool are you?
Decent.
So, all right, so tell us this. How is fishing here, or is it different than what you know in Florida?
Oh, it's completely different. Florida's a whole different ball game. Texas, I've pretty much since I got here, I've been learning, and it's not just Texas; it's out of state fishing as well. It's completely different because I mean, most of the stuff that we do in Florida is specific to a certain lake or a certain body of water, like the St. Johns River is where I'm from.
Okay.
And there's no body of water around here that's anything like that.
No.
I mean,
no.
there's no tidal systems, there's no tannics. The closest thing We have that is on a Caddo Lake and Cross Lake around here.
Yep.
It's all cypress tree, and that's what tannic water comes
Yep.
from.
And you know what? The fish in St. John's River are pure stream Florida bass.
Yes, sir.
And they don't act the same as these fish.
No.
They don't fish the same. They don't act the same.
They don't
Water
act the
chemistry.
same thing.
So now, when you're switching gears on these different waters, are you thinking about water chemistry at all?
To an extent, most of the stuff I stick to my strong suits on stuff. There's different colors that work on the same baits. Like a chatterbait works extremely well pretty much everywhere I go. Square bill crankbaits are the same way, and all that is really. I've got a strong suit for certain baits to where I can apply them at different bodies of water. Just the scheme of colors is a little bit different.
So you've got a lot of confidence in your use and
yeah.
no confidence in those baits. You just got to figure out when you get to that lake, what's the best color, even though your technique may be similar from lake to lake to lake.
Yes, sir. Depending on water clarity,
Yeah.
what you're fishing around, what kind of structure it is.
So he knows what he believes in, and it works. So why go away from it?
That's right.
I love that. All right, so you've been recruited. Now here you are, and if you've been recruited, there's going to be something innate with you that's just born into you that makes you want to be a professional angler.
It's just I love fishing, man. I'm ate up with it, you know.
I love
and I can honestly say I have the drive for it, and I'm planning on going pro as soon as I can. But really, it's just about the money, like you said in the meeting. Planning around the money aspect of it, and so that's my main goal is to go pro at the end of the day. I think.
Well, that will come. The money will come.
That's right.
As long as you're paying the dues, which it sounds like you are if you got recruited from Jacksonville, Florida.
Yes, sir.
I love that. Any tips to other young people? What would you tell a high school angler out there?
Really, just keep your head down and use YouTube as much as you can, because YouTube is insane amount of stuff you can learn from that source, and there's all kind of stuff that you can utilize on different lakes and different bodies of water. But that too, don't stick to one lake. Go out, if you live on Caddo Lake, go out 2 hours from where that is to go to Sam Rayburn, Toledo Bend, and fish different lakes to try to figure it out. Because once you get to a college level or even a pro level, you'll be going across the country a different lake in 2 weeks from.
Yep. And you guys are going to be where next week?
We'll be on Kentucky Lake.
Oh, and how far away is that?
Close to 10 hours.
Yeah, I seen it's been 13 feet up, falling, water's muddy, full of Asian carp.
I'm pumped for that one. We last year, me and my partner did really good on that lake. We got second. We had a 2-day total. We had 19 pounds one day and 24 the next. So
yeah,
we had a pretty good total on that.
Sweet.
And the water conditions are setting up pretty much close. Just the water temperature is a little bit different. So
yep.
I'm praying it all works out.
Remember this guy, won't be long. He'll be fishing either Major League Fishing or BASS or or what?
Plan on being
FLW?
either
What do you want to do?
FLW or plan on fishing the Elite Series is my goal.
There you go. Man, I tell you what, you guys are primed for that right now. You know, with the big shift that's happened with a lot of the big names going to Major League Fishing.
A lot of people are moving.
Oh my gosh, there's going to be a lot of movement. Well, man, thanks. This is pretty
It's
cool.
been
Thanks for hanging out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Yes, sir. All right. Hey, we got one more coming up to bat here. Looky here. Holy cow. Tell us about you.
My name is Ashley Boyer, and I'm from Halton, Louisiana.
Okay. From Houghton, Louisiana. Your name is Ashley. So how in the world did you get into fishing?
They recruited me. They wanted a girl.
They wanted a girl.
They wanted a girl on
Well, now,
the
wait.
team.
They didn't just pick any girl.
They picked the girl.
They picked the girl. Okay. Tell us why you were the girl. You got a Bucky shirt on. Everybody loves Buckies in
Yes,
Texas.
sir. I fished for the high school, went in Halton High School,
Okay.
and fished there for 2 or 3 years. I was actually helping out one of the collegiate tournaments on Red River South, and my fishing coach for the high school was like, "There's a coach here, and they want to talk to you." And I was like, "Okay." And he's like, "From ETBU." And I was like, "I really don't know where that is, but okay." I was looking at going to NSU for nursing, and so I talked to the coach, and he was like, "Would you want to fish for us? We're wanting a girl." And I was like, that'd be pretty cool. I never thought I would say I would go to college to fish. And I come and toured ETBU, fell in love with the campus, and they offered me a bass fishing scholarship.
A bass fishing scholarship. How cool is that? We didn't get that when we were growing up, guys, but she does. All right, so now, when you're getting ready, when you're preparing for a tournament, what goes through your mind? What are you doing? What are you doing to get ready?
Researching the lakes, talking to people, same thing the guys do. I mean,
Okay, so when you say researching the lakes, you're going to be talking to fishing guides if you can. You're going to be talking to
people
anglers.
who live around there, people who fished it, people who know a little bit about it. Watching YouTube videos of it, past
Okay,
tournaments.
stay with that. You're going to be looking at YouTube videos of that lake
Yes, sir.
and maybe of that time of year.
Yes, sir.
So
Looking at the different things that are going on, maybe relates to something.
See, Kevin Van Dam didn't have that. Marty Stone didn't have that. Matter of fact, everybody's watching their videos now, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. And so now that you know you're going to Kentucky Lake to fish, you're going to be looking at YouTube videos of what's been going on there lately,
And
as well as what's going on there with similar conditions in the past.
Yes, sir.
And then you're going to see if you can hunt down people to talk to.
People who've fished there before, maybe locally, that you talk to and find some stuff out.
Outstanding. So what sets you apart from the other girls that are fishing?
Honestly, I haven't talked to any of the other girls that fished in the Collegiate series. We had a couple that fished high school for us, but I feel like they weren't as dedicated. I had a dad who just put me in there and was like, this is what you're going to do, and I just grew up fishing.
So you grew up fishing. Your dad took you a lot. I mean, that seems to be kind of a common thread among this whole group. And I'm sure you appreciate that even more now than you did when you didn't want to do it.
Yes,
but
sir.
now you want to do it. So, I mean, do you wake up thinking about it?
All the time. I remember I was going into knee surgery. I remember talking to the surgeon about how I was going to go fishing here soon and how I was ready to get back.
Oh, so let's schedule my rehab and work it out so I'll be back in the boat pretty quick.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what are your strong suits when you're out on the lake? What do you do well? What do you believe in?
I believe in you need to put your heart into what you're doing and dedicate yourself and make sure that you believe in yourself and your teammates before you go out and do what you're doing.
So, okay, so you got a lot of confidence in those around you. You got a lot of confidence in yourself. So how do you take that confidence and put it at the end of a fishing rod?
You've got to believe in yourself and know why you're out there in order to be able to catch the things that you need to catch and have faith in God.
I love that. So when you hit the water, you've got all these things, and now you're studying the lake. You've been studying the lake, and what do you fish with? I mean, how do you pick your strategy? What are you going to do next? You've said your prayers. You've got that confidence. The team's around you. Everything's working. Now you got to put 5 fish in the boat.
You got to use your knowledge to know what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, and just kind of go with your heart.
And the heart lets you open up the tackle box, and you're going to pick that square-billed crankbait or that spinner bait, or depending on
Depending on the circumstances and the temperature and what you're around, what you're going to use.
So basically what I'm hearing you, let me make sure I'm hearing you say this, Ashley. What you're saying is, when I get to the lake, I've studied it, and then when we hit the water, then I'm going to choose what I'm going to throw.
Yes, sir.
That's it. So you kind of develop your strategy once you're in the boat. You already kind of got your backstory about the lake and the fishery. Now you're going to go put it to work based on what you can observe on your electronics and what you see around the lake and what you see under the water.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
it?
Yes, sir.
How cool is that, everybody? This is Ashley, and she is on scholarship for bass fishing. That's great. Thanks, Ashley.
Thank
That was
you.
fun. All right, folks, we're going to cut it a little bit short tonight. Where's Tom? Hey, Tom, come around here a minute. I want you guys to talk to Tom Wynn for a minute. Here, Tom, grab that chair right there. This is Tom Wynn, and Tom has been a Pond Boss subscriber for how long?
God, 14 years.
14 years, and he came to the second Pond Boss conference in 2008. And as a matter of fact, when I met up with him today, here's a bunch of his Pond Boss. He's got articles flagged. Here's one that's let's see, oxygen saturation article here. So he's taken all these back issues of Pond Boss, and he's got a library.
Take them serious.
Yes, take them serious. So he actually believes some of that stuff that we write. And I guess it works, or you wouldn't believe it.
I still fish.
And he's a nighttime fisherman, you know. And we started talking about this. He started calling me, I guess, back in the summer of last year to come over and talk to the East Texas Baptist University's fishing team. And the more he told me about it, the more excited I got about it, because this is pretty dadgum cool. So give us a little bit of background on the bass fishing team here, Tom.
Well, they're in their second year. I found out about it because we do some other things with the college. But this is part of what the president brought down. He came from Dallas Baptist, and he wanted things here that Dallas Baptist had. So we instituted a lot of new teams, and one of them was a bass team. And it's one of two colleges in the United States that actually gives these fishermen a full ride, full scholarship. They have 4 great boats. They use skier equipment, Yamaha motors. They've got some great sponsors. On top of that, they're all good Christian guys. They're smart. The only team on campus that has a higher GPA than the bass team is the girls softball team. So they're all 3.5 students. All of them have, I tell all of them, they've got a bullseye on their back. Because I know there's a lot of high schoolers out there that would love to get a free ride to college, to fish. So these guys protect what they've got. They produce fish, they produce good grades, a good Christian atmosphere, the whole team. I became part of it because I'm a fisherman, and I wanted to meet them. I wanted to make sure they were comfortable coming, to a college out of town. And they're good guys. They know how to fish. I keep telling them to slow down a little bit, but we all have to slow down a little bit. But I'm proud of them, every one of them, and I think they're great for the community. They're good for the school, and they represent ETBU real well. So I'm proud to be associated.
That's excellent. You won't find a bigger fan and a guy that works behind the scenes to make sure that all this stuff comes about than Tom Wynn right here, folks. And I tell you, I just saw somebody post, who would have thought that you could go to college on a bass fishing scholarship?
Isn't that something?
I love that.
You saw my boat now.
Yeah, I saw. He's got a John boat hanging from the roof of a Cajun restaurant here in Marshall, Texas, and we ate some Cajun food underneath that boat this afternoon before we came over here.
I fished out of a Delhi boat.
Yeah.
Delhi. These guys have got 21-foot skeeters with a 250 pusher on them.
Yeah.
And I just can't believe that they would pay to go fishing.
I love it. I mean, but here we are, and gosh, what perfect timing, because, we were talking earlier, I read something in the Dallas Morning News or somewhere not long ago that the average age of a license holder that owns a combination hunting and fishing license in Texas is 63 years old. So if we're not bringing these young people in, I mean, they're going to be the ones that keep the industry going and get people outdoors. Good gosh, get them off of these things and get them out there in the real world where they can get cold and they catch a fish and see a deer.
Well, I've fished a long time, and I've had mothers come up to me at maybe a Christmas party someplace, and they'll say, all my son wants to do is fish. All he wants to do is stay on the lake. And I look right at their mothers and I say, have you ever seen a bar in the middle of a lake?
You ever seen a tackle box in the back seat of a police car?
Isn't that something? I say, leave him on the lake. Leave him, you know where he is. He's safe, and he's doing something he loves to do. So I've never seen a bar in the middle of the lake.
Never seen a bar in the middle of the lake?
No.
And seen a tackle box in the back seat of a police car either?
You got it. So,
well, Tom Wynn, man, this is great. It's such a pleasure to be able to come and hang out with you guys. This has been so much fun. Oh my gosh, it is. What if you want to give a few tips to any young anglers out here, what would you tell them that are going to be seeing this video?
Number one is grades.
Got to make good grades.
You do. These guys make good grades.
Yep.
Make your grades. Get your grades in line. Listen to some of the older guys on what they did when they tournament fished. Listen to some of them because they won tournaments too, and they are happy. Fishermen are happy to pass on what they did good, and if you can do that, if you can follow some of the old fishermen, the old hands, it still works today. I've still got some old cream worms that you can catch fishing. It's just it's a great sport, and like they've said before, stay on the lake. Stay on the lake.
Yeah.
Stay on the lake.
Yeah.
Get out of the street.
Yep. When I was little, my daddy was taking me fishing, and he'd cast it out for me, and then I'd reel it in, and it would frustrate me. He'd say, you can't catch a fish if your bait's not in the water.
That's right.
So you got to have your bait in the water, and I tell you, when I talked to Marty Stone earlier today, he said, you know, the odds are where you're going tonight, Bob, to talk to this group of young anglers, there might be the next Kevin Van Dam sitting in that room listening to what you say. And it's all about their drive. He said they got better tools than Kevin's got because now they got YouTube. They got better equipment. They got side scan sonar. They have boats that can get there quicker, you know. So odds are that somewhere out here is the next Kevin Van Dam. He said the thing Kevin has an advantage over everybody is he's still fishing. You know, he says, but there are some good young anglers out there. Jimmy Houston, I called him to ask him, you know, what's some ideas? And you're not going to believe what he told me. He said, tell them to learn how to write. He said vendors, sponsors, people can't stand to get a text that says, how are you? He said, R is not spelled R. It's A-R-E. And U is not U. It's Y-O-U. And two might be T-O-T-W-O or T-O-O. Learn how to use those. And your is Y-O-U-R. Unless it's U-R, then it's Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. Tell them to learn how to write. And then what Marty said at the end, he says, also tell them to write a thank you note. Handwritten thank you notes go a long, long way, and people remember them. And I tell you what, he's right. I remember thank you notes as well.
Absolutely.
So you know what? What a pleasure this has been. I can't thank you enough for inviting me out here to do this. This is really a pleasure. So, folks, there you have it. The evening at East Texas Baptist University. Follow them. I'm sure they have their social media pages and stuff. Yeah, you guys check them out.
It's a beautiful campus, good people, and a great bass team.
Outstanding. So with that, I'm going to tell you adios, and I will be checking in with you next Wednesday night. Thanks a lot.